Hey friends, Sheree here. Welcome back to the channel, Cooking at Home with Sheree. Well, I celebrated my 54th birthday and I made a very specific birthday gift request. It's here and we're gonna open it up together. I finally got my Nutrimill. I had wanted one of these at some point almost a year ago. When I was looking into them, it was sold out. And about 6 weeks before my birthday, I did a search again and the site had one in stock and I snagged it. And so I was so thrilled to add this to the kitchen. And so yeah, let's get it unboxed and we're gonna test it out. So you can see here on the side of the box, it's made in the USA. I have a 5-year warranty that I'm gonna make sure I fill out, and seems to be a pretty straightforward instruction. I spent a fair amount of time researching brands and deciding on which one I wanted. This shows you here all the things you can mill: amaranth, spelt, mung beans, quinoa, rye, buckwheat, red lentils, millet, black rice, white beans. I'm gonna be testing them all. So this company has been making these mills since 1974. Just a few years younger than me. All right, so this is the card comes at the top of the box. And we got our user manual, Milling Grains 101, gluten-free legumes, tells you what not to mill. This is my warranty that I need to fill out. Then on the inside, it has the step-by-step on how to set it up as well as how to clean it. So I'm gonna follow these directions, get it out of the box, follow the directions, and we're gonna test it out. Well, this thing is heavy, and I have to say, I love how secure it is in the box. It doesn't have a ton of extra, well, it doesn't have any foam, anything like that I cannot recycle, so that's nice. But I'm gonna take my time and get this unfolded and get it out of the box. Okay, so when I open her up, well, let me show you. This was on top like this. So we'll just take that off. And then we have this sheet in here. We'll get this out and have a look at it. So yeah, I'm going to follow these directions to get it up and running. And then we're gonna test it out together. Okay, so I have everything set up. I've read through the very simple directions. I'm gonna pop open a fresh bag of my jovial organic Einkorn wheat berries. And we're gonna test this thing out. Einkorn berries are actually higher in protein. They are an unmodified wheat berry. And so it's like an ancient grain. Well, it is an ancient grain. It's in the family with spelt. So it has a higher percentage of protein in it in comparison to actually most flours, but specifically typical all-purpose flour. And it's a lower gluten flour, but more importantly, the gluten that's in it, it doesn't stretch, like it breaks, and it breaks down much easier. And so it's much easier to digest. And so that's the main reason why I started using it, oh my gosh, almost 2 decades ago. You know, we used to live in Europe, and I noticed that, you know, the flour there, just all the different baked goods and things like that, like I didn't have as much trouble digesting them as I did the typical things back here in the US. And then I learned that, you know, a lot of the things that I was buying while we were living there, as well as what my in-laws buy on the regular, was using this particular wheat berry. And so when we moved back to the US, I started buying like I said, the pre-ground flour. I used the pasta made with it. I use all kinds of stuff, and I'll try to link to some videos and some Thrive Market hauls specifically is usually where I've shown my jovial food products that I pick up. But anyway, I'm excited to give this a try, though. As I shared in the beginning, there are all kinds of different grains and beans that I can use the milk for. And so over time, we will play with some of those things as well. So before adding berries, you're supposed to turn it on. And now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of berries. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna do this and just turn it around. I mean, that's a pretty good, I'm gonna loosen it up. Loosen it up. I'm gonna just test that. And so basically you have to kind of play around with it. And so you can see that's much more coarse. I'm going to tighten it back up. I don't want it too tight. But this is how you play around to see. When you need to have it. Ooh, that's pretty great. That's what I would want, actually. All right, so I'm going to turn this off for a sec. And so yeah, you can clearly see the difference. This is the finest for sure. This was kind of medium and this was quite coarse. So I'm gonna take a photo of this position on where that red line is. You know, at some point I'll get used to it. And then as it's grinding, I can, you know, turn the knob and, you know, move the bowl, you know, change the bowl, so that I can just collect the fineness that I want. But I'm gonna leave this right here now, and I'm going to grind up a cup of the wheat berries. Okay, so let's test this out again. We're gonna turn her on. I'm gonna pour in a cup of the wheat berries. It's so beautiful and light and fluffy. I'm gonna pour it into here. And then I'm gonna do one more cup of the berries, the wheat berries. And I'm gonna bake something. Okay, here we go with round 2. Wait until all the flour stops before turning it off. Okay, this seems to be done. Oh. Seems like some's just still falling. All right. So this is just below the 4-cup mark with those 2 cups of wheat berries. So I have 2 bananas left from last week's fruit, and I'm gonna use these and make some banana bread. Test out our new flour. I should say I'm gonna use the exact same recipe that I use making my banana bread. I pretty much always use Einkorn flour. I've just been buying it already pre-ground as an all-purpose flour, same brand, Jovial. So I'm going to use the same recipe, and hopefully it'll turn out exactly the same with freshly milled berries. Well, maybe it'll taste better. We'll see. I have some creamed butter and sugar here. I have my mashed bananas. Added my bananas. Well, I've added in some eggs. I'm going to get this mixed. And then I got to add in my baking soda, a little salt, along with some vanilla extract, homemade, and some other spices. All right, friends, sorry, it's a little loud. Got the dishwasher running. But here is the bread fresh out of the oven. It smells good. Let's get it sliced. It has a beautiful consistency. It smells so good. And it tastes delicious. Yum, yum, yum. I do feel like, you know, it's like a little bit coarser. The flour is still a little bit coarser than the flour that I'm used to using in the bag, which I actually kind of like. But I do think I'm gonna grind some more of the Einkorn wheat berries. I'm gonna grind it finer, and I'll do exactly this recipe again and test it out, and then I will share the recipe. We'll make it together and I'll share the recipe. All right. Well, thanks for joining me to unbox one of my birthday gifts and to test it out for the first time. And I'll see you back here with more videos, and especially some more videos playing around with this Nutrimill and baking up all the things. See you soon. Bye.